Marcus Webb stood in the medical bay of Nexus 7, with all the enthusiasm of a man waiting for his driver's license renewal, which frankly was exactly the vibe. Mandatory health screenings were just another item on the list of bureaucratic nonsense required to haul cargo across the galaxy, right between file docking permits in triplicate and attend the monthly safety seminar that nobody actually attends. The medical officer, a reptilian alien named Vex, fussed with the vitality scanner like it was going to explode. Vex was the kind of person, alien, who probably alphabetized his cleaning supplies and set calendar reminders to breathe. His scales were a nervous shade of green that Marcus had learned meant mildly anxious about everything, which was basically Vex's default setting. "Please remain still, Mr. Webb," Vex said, his three-fingered hands hovering over the control panel. "This will only take a moment." Marcus yawned. It was 0600 station time, which meant it was way too early for this. He'd barely finished his first cup of coffee. The stuff from the vending machine that tasted like someone had dissolved a tire in hot water and called it a beverage. The scanner hummed to life, bathing Marcus in a pale blue light that made him look like he was auditioning for a low-budget sci-fi film. Then the humming stopped. The blue light turned red. And Vex made a sound that Marcus could only describe as a tea kettle achieving sentience and immediately regretting it. Oh no, no. Vex's scales flashed from green to yellow to orange, cycling through an entire sunset of panic. "This cannot be correct." Marcus scratched his stubble. "What? Did I forget to fast or something?" "You are dying," Vex announced, staring at the readout like it had personally insulted his mother. "Yeah, eventually. We all are, buddy." "No, you misunderstand." Vex pointed at the screen with a trembling claw. "You are dying right now. Your cortisol levels are incompatible with sustained life. Your stress markers are beyond terminal. Your bone density readings suggest structural collapse should have occurred 3 cycles ago. And your neural activity indicates chronic sleep deprivation that would render most species comatose." Marcus blinked. Then he checked his watch. "It's Monday." "Monday," Vex repeated, like Marcus had just spoken in ancient Sumerian. "Monday. Yeah, start of the work week. Always feels like death. I'll bounce back by Wednesday, probably." Vex slapped a red button on the console. Alarms started blaring. The medical bay doors sealed with a pneumatic hiss. Somewhere overhead, a robotic voice announced, "Quarantine protocol initiated. Biohazard level 7. All personnel maintain safe distance." "Whoa, hey, that seems excessive," Marcus said, eyeing the suddenly locked doors. "You are a walking biological catastrophe," Vex said, backing away slowly while pulling on a hazmat suit. "I am calling Commander Krill immediately. Do not move. Do not breathe more than necessary. Do not die in the next 5 minutes, please." Marcus sighed and sat down on the exam table. This was going to be one of those days. Commander Krill arrived in exactly 90 seconds, which was impressive considering she had to traverse 3 sectors of the station. She was an insectoid alien, all chitinous plating and compound eyes. The kind of being who probably had a color-coded filing system for her color-coded filing systems. She took one look at the vitality scanner readout, and her antennae went completely rigid. "Explain," she said, in that clipped, no-nonsense tone that suggested explanations had better be good, and preferably include charts. Vex gestured at Marcus like he was presenting evidence at a murder trial. "The human is experiencing complete systemic failure across all biological metrics. I have initiated emergency protocols." "I'm right here," Marcus said, "and I feel fine." "You cannot feel fine," Vex insisted. "Your readings indicate you should be unconscious at minimum, deceased at maximum." "Well, I'm not, so that's something." Commander Krill's mandibles clicked together, which Marcus had learned was the insectoid equivalent of a frustrated sigh. "Bring in Dr. Quiln, if anyone can make sense of this. It's him." 5 minutes later, a hover gurney wheeled in, carrying what looked like a very elderly octopus who had decided to pursue medicine instead of a peaceful retirement. Dr. Quiln had 8 tentacles, half of which held various medical instruments, while the other half appeared to be holding cups of tea. He'd been the station's head physician for 30 cycles, which in galactic terms meant he'd seen some weird stuff. He took one look at Marcus, then at the scanner readout, then back at Marcus. "Fascinating," Dr. Quillen said, his voice like gravel being slowly tumbled in a rock polisher. "You appear to be simultaneously alive and dying." "Story of my life, Doc." Dr. Quillen extended several tentacles, attaching new sensors to Marcus's arms, chest, and forehead. "Let's run a full diagnostic. Vex, monitor his vitals. Commander, prepare the emergency medical suite just in case." "In case of what?" Marcus asked. "In case you suddenly realize you're supposed to be dead and act accordingly." The new tests started. Marcus sat there while machines beeped, scanners hummed, and the medical staff watched him like he was a bomb that might detonate at any moment. Each new readout made Vex's scales flash brighter colors. Commander Krill's antennae twitched more frequently. Dr. Quillen just kept muttering, "Impossible," under his breath, while taking notes with 3 tentacles simultaneously. "Okay, the suspense is killing me," Marcus said. "What's the verdict?" Dr. Quillen looked up from his datapad. "Your adrenal system is operating at 400% baseline capacity. Your muscle tissue shows microscopic tears throughout, suggesting recent physical trauma. Your digestive system is processing what I can only describe as toxic waste. Your circadian rhythms are completely disrupted. And somehow, you are not only conscious, but appear to be in what you describe as normal condition. Yeah, I moved some furniture yesterday, had some questionable takeout, and didn't sleep great. Pretty standard Sunday." The 3 aliens stared at him. "You are telling me," Commander Krill said slowly, "that these readings represent your normal operational status? I mean, I've felt worse. Last month I had food poisoning and still made my delivery schedule." Vex made that tea kettle noise again. "How?" Dr. Quillen asked, and it wasn't really a medical question so much as an existential plea to the universe. "Are you standing?" Marcus stood up, stretched, felt his back crack in 3 places, and rolled his shoulders. "Like this. Speaking of which, where are the vending machines? I need another coffee." Vex actually stumbled backward. Commander Krill's compound eyes seemed to widen, which Marcus hadn't known was possible. Dr. Quillen dropped one of his teacups. "He's ambulatory," Vex whispered. "With these readings, he should not be ambulatory." "Humans," Marcus said, heading toward the door and finding it still sealed, "are really good at being ambulatory, when we probably shouldn't be. It's kind of our thing. Can someone unlock this? I've got a cargo run in 2 hours." Commander Krill made an executive decision to keep Marcus in the medical bay for observation, which Marcus protested until Dr. Quillen offered him access to the staff coffee machine, which was significantly better than the vending machine sludge. Priorities. Now Marcus sat on the exam table, surrounded by 3 aliens with datapads, looking like the world's strangest intervention. "Walk us through," Dr. Quillen said, tentacles poised over his datapad. "A typical day in your life." Seriously? Seriously. We need to understand how your species functions, despite everything these scanners are telling us." Marcus sipped his coffee. "Okay, fine. I wake up around 0500. "After how many hours of sleep?" Vex asked. 5, maybe 6 if it's a good night." Vex's scales turned bright yellow. "The recommended sleep cycle for most species is 8 to 10 hours. You are operating at significant deficit." "Yeah, well, rent doesn't pay itself." "Anyway, I grab coffee, lots of coffee, check my cargo manifest, do some light maintenance on my ship." "Define light maintenance," Commander Krill interjected. "You know, rewiring, patching hull breaches, replacing burnt-out systems, whatever broke during the last run." "You perform mechanical repairs in a state of sleep deprivation," she said flatly. "Sometimes I'm also hungover, but that's beside the point." Dr. Quillen's tentacles trembled. "Continue." "Then I usually grab breakfast, nothing fancy, whatever's quick." Vex pulled up Marcus's dietary logs, which the station tracked for some reason, probably regulations. His scales immediately turned orange. "Mr. Webb, your nutritional intake over the past week includes instant noodles consumed 9 times, energy drinks consumed 14 times, something called pizza rolls, and, this cannot be correct, gas station sushi." "The sushi was a mistake," Marcus admitted, "but I survived." Survived, Vex repeated. You consumed decomposing fish from an automated dispensary and survived. I mean, I felt pretty rough for a day or two, but yeah. Dr. Quillen made a note. Humans possess remarkable digestive resilience. We also possess remarkable stupidity, Marcus said. That's probably related. Then what happens? Commander Krill asked, her tone suggesting she was regretting every life choice that led to this conversation. Then I work, 12, 14-hour shifts usually. Haul cargo, negotiate with dock workers, deal with customs, avoid pirates, the usual. Avoid pirates, Commander Krill said, casually, as though it's a minor inconvenience. I mean, it is. They're usually not that persistent if you're hauling industrial solvents. Nobody wants to steal boring stuff. And your stress levels during this time? Dr. Quillen asked. High, I guess. I don't really think about it. It's just how things are. Vex looked like he might faint, if reptilian aliens could faint. You exist in a constant state of elevated stress and simply, what, ignore it? Not ignore it, more like acknowledge it and then do the thing anyway because bills exist. Remarkable, Dr. Quillen muttered. Humans have apparently evolved to operate in perpetual crisis mode. Oh, definitely, Marcus agreed. Our whole planet was trying to kill us for like 1,000,000 years. Predators, diseases, weather, other humans, you name it. So we just got really good at being too stubborn to die. Natural selection favored the people who could wake up feeling like death, get chased by a saber-toothed tiger, and still find time to invent agriculture. Wait, Commander Krill said, her antennae rigid. Earth is classified as a death world? Class 7, I think, maybe 8. Yeah, it's pretty hostile. And you people live there? Most of us. Some moved off-world, but rent's cheaper on Earth. Also, there's good pizza. You can't get good pizza on Mars. The three aliens exchanged looks that clearly communicated they were dealing with an insane species. Let me get this straight, Dr. Quillen said slowly. Humans evolved on a death world, adapted to function under extreme stress, normalized sleep deprivation, consume borderline toxic substances as food, and somehow this results in a species that can operate machinery while actively dying. When you put it that way, it sounds bad, Marcus said, but also, yes. Dr. Quillen decided the only way to truly understand the situation was through comparative analysis, which was a fancy way of saying he wanted to prove that Marcus's biology made no sense by comparing it to species that did. Vex, Dr. Quillen said, you're first. Step into the scanner. Vex hesitated. I am not comfortable being a test subject. You demanded we quarantine Mr. Webb. The least you can do is demonstrate what normal looks like. Grumbling, Vex stepped into the scanner. The blue light activated. Numbers scrolled across the display. After 30 seconds, the scanner beeped pleasantly. Perfect health, Dr. Quillen announced. Optimal hormone balance, excellent stress markers, bone density within ideal parameters, neural activity suggesting adequate rest and nutrition. That's what health looks like? Marcus asked. Huh. Commander Krill, you're next. The insectoid commander didn't argue. She stepped into the scanner with military precision. The results appeared almost immediately. Also perfect, Dr. Quillen said. Pristine biological function across all metrics. This is what we expect from properly maintained biological systems. Show-offs, Marcus muttered into his coffee. Now, Mr. Webb, if you would. Marcus set down his coffee and stepped back into the scanner. The machine hummed. Numbers cascaded across the screen, and then every alarm in the medical bay started screaming at once. Worse! Vex shouted over the alarms. His readings are worse than they were an hour ago! Dr. Quillen silenced the alarms and studied the readout with all 8 eyes. Mr. Webb, what changed in the last hour? I've been sitting here talking to you guys? That's it? I mean, I'm also hungry, and this table is murder on my back, and I'm tired because I'm always tired. That's just how Mondays work. Commander Krill approached the scanner like it might be broken. You're telling me that simply existing for 1 hour made your condition deteriorate? No, I'm telling you this is normal fluctuation. I'll probably feel better after lunch, or worse. It's kind of a coin flip. Dr. Quillen made a note with 3 tentacles while drinking tea with 2 others. Humans operate in a constant state of biological flux. What other species would consider a medical emergency, humans consider a minor inconvenience. Pretty much, Marcus agreed. I've worked with people who had the flu, broken bones, migraines that would hospitalize most species. And they still showed up because they had vacation days saved for actual emergencies. The FLU? Vex's scales were now a color Marcus had never seen before, something between purple and ultraviolet. A viral infection capable of systemic compromise? Yeah, you just take some medicine, drink orange juice, and power through. It's character building. It's insane, Vex said. Your species is insane. Our species put a man on the moon, using computers less powerful than a modern calculator, Marcus said. Insanity is kind of our baseline. Dr. Quiln tentacles were now trembling. Let me see if I understand correctly. Humans regularly function with injuries, illnesses, and stress levels that would require hospitalization for most species. You consider this acceptable. You even celebrate it as determination or resilience. We have t-shirts about it, Marcus confirmed. Mugs, too. My favorite says, "I can't adult today," with a picture of a coffee cup. Very relatable. I need to sit down, Dr. Quiln said, which was complicated because he was already sitting. Commander Krill was reading through something on her datapad, her mandibles clicking rapidly. I'm looking at human medical literature that the station database has on file. Did you know that 43% of humans report chronic pain, 67% report inadequate sleep, and 89% report stress levels that would be clinically significant in other species? Sounds about right, Marcus said. What's your point? My point is that your entire species is walking around with what we would classify as critical health conditions, and you've all just decided that's fine. Not fine, Marcus corrected. Normal, there's a difference. Fine would imply we're happy about it. Normal just means we've accepted that existence is pain and we're doing it anyway. Vex had to sit down too. I need to reconsider my entire understanding of xenobiology. While you're at it, Marcus said, checking his watch, can someone unlock that door? I really do have a cargo run. Commander Krill was typing furiously on her datapad, her antennae twitching with what Marcus recognized as bureaucratic fervor. I'm filing a report with the Galactic Health Organization. Humans need to be reclassified. Hazardous species designation at minimum. Hazardous? Marcus protested. We're not hazardous, we're just built different. You are biological anomalies who operate in states that would kill most species, and you spread this condition by normalizing it. That qualifies as hazardous. We don't spread anything. We just, exist. It's not our fault your species are delicate. Vex's scales flashed indignant yellow. We are not delicate. We are normal. You are the aberration. Before Marcus could respond with what probably would have been a witty but unhelpful comment, an alarm blared through the station. A different alarm. This one was the bad kind. The kind that meant something expensive had broken. The intercom crackled. Emergency! Station power failure. Life support at 30%. Temperature dropping. All personnel report to emergency stations. Commander Krill's antennae went rigid. That's the main generator. If it fails completely, we have maybe 2 hours of backup power. Evacuation protocols? Vex asked, already looking panicked. Already initiating. But we need to stabilize the generator, or we'll have to abandon the station entirely. Marcus slid off the exam table and grabbed his jacket. Where's the generator? Lower decks, Sector 9, Commander Krill said. But those sections are already depressurizing. Low oxygen, extreme cold, structural instability. It's a death trap. Cool. I'll check it out. Marcus headed for the door. Did you not hear me? Commander Krill grabbed his arm with a chitinous claw. You will die down there. Yeah, but slowly. The generator's dying faster. Priorities. Mr. Webb, you are already dying according to every medical scan we've conducted, Dr. Quiln said. Exposing yourself to hostile environmental conditions will accelerate your demise. Marcus gently pulled his arm free. Look, I appreciate the concern, really, but I've fixed generators in worse conditions. One time on Europa, the heating failed and it was like 200 degrees below zero. I had frostbite on my frostbite, still got the job done. That doesn't make me feel better, Vex said weakly. It shouldn't. But here's the thing. You guys are adapted for normal conditions. Perfect temperatures, optimal oxygen, low stress. I'm adapted for everything trying to kill me. This is literally what humans are good at. Marcus grabbed a toolkit from the emergency locker and overrode the medical bay doors. Behind him, he heard Dr. Quillen say, "Monitor his vitals. I want to see what happens when a dying organism attempts manual labor in a hostile environment." "That's morbid, Doc," Marcus called back. "I like it." The lower decks were exactly as advertised. Cold enough that Marcus's breath fogged in the air, thin enough that each breath felt like sucking air through a straw, and dark enough that he had to use his flashlight to navigate. The generator room was a mess of sparking cables and hissing coolant leaks. "Fantastic," Marcus muttered, pulling out his tools. Through his comm, he heard Vex's panicked voice. "Mr. Webb, your oxygen saturation is dropping. Your core temperature is dropping. Your heart rate is elevated. You need to evacuate immediately." "Almost got it," Marcus said, rewiring a connection while his fingers went numb. "Just need to bypass the thermal regulator and reroute power from the auxiliary cells." "You are going into hypothermic shock," Dr. Quillen's voice cut in. "Your body is shutting down non-essential systems." "None of my systems are essential, Doc. That's the secret." Marcus finished the rewiring, kicked the generator housing twice for good measure, and hit the restart button. The generator coughed, sputtered, and roared back to life. Lights flickered on throughout the lower decks. Warm air started flowing through the vents. "Power restored," Commander Krill announced through the comm. "Generator stable. Mr. Webb, return to the medical bay immediately." Marcus trudged back through the now warming corridors, his hands shaking and his lungs burning. When he stumbled back into the medical bay, all three aliens were staring at the vitality scanner readout in what could only be described as horrified fascination. "Your readings," Vex whispered, "are catastrophic. You should be comatose." Marcus collapsed onto the exam table. "Nah, I'm fine. Just need a minute." Dr. Quillen extended a tentacle with a thermal blanket. "You humans don't thrive despite harsh conditions. You're calibrated for them. You're only comfortable when everything is actively trying to kill you." "Not comfortable," Marcus corrected, his teeth chattering. "Just functional. There's a difference." Commander Krill's antennae drooped in what might have been respect or exhaustion. "I'm amending my report. Not hazardous species. Impossible species." "I'll take it," Marcus said, already feeling his core temperature stabilize. "Now seriously, can I get back to work? That cargo isn't going to haul itself." Dr. Quillen spent the next hour reviewing every piece of data they'd collected on Marcus Webb, cross-referencing it with the limited information available on human biology in the galactic database. Finally, he set down his datapad and made an announcement. "The vitality scanners are fundamentally incompatible with human biology." "I could have told you that," Marcus said from his spot on the exam table, where he was finishing his fourth cup of coffee. "The issue," Dr. Quillen continued, "is that our medical technology is designed for species that maintain biological homeostasis. Humans do not maintain homeostasis. You exist in a constant state of controlled chaos, somehow balancing a dozen minor crises at once and calling it normal." "Controlled is generous," Marcus said. Dr. Quillen brought up the medical database on the main display. "I'm creating a new classification. Human normal, with a parenthetical that reads, 'Do not panic.'" "That's going in the official database?" Commander Krill asked. "It has to. Otherwise, every human who comes through this station will trigger quarantine protocols." Dr. Quillen's tentacles moved across the interface, adjusting parameters. "We need to recalibrate all human health metrics to account for what I'm terming operational dysfunction." Vex watched nervously as the new standards populated the screen. "So we're just accepting that humans operate at what we would consider critical failure levels." "We're acknowledging reality," Dr. Quillen said. "Mr. Webb, step into the scanner one more time." Marcus complied, coffee cup still in hand. The scanner activated, numbers scrolled across the display. This time, instead of alarms and flashing red lights, the scanner beeped and displayed a cheerful green message. "Human normal, do not panic. Your cortisol is still catastrophically high," Vex said, reading the detailed breakdown. Your stress markers are still terminal. Your bone density still suggests imminent structural failure. But now the scanner just says you're fine. Because I am fine, Marcus said. This is what I've been trying to tell you. The scanner also notes improvement after coffee consumption, Dr. Quillen observed. Though by our standards, you've merely gone from critical to serious condition. Marcus raised his cup. Coffee, the only thing standing between humanity and complete biological collapse. Commander Krill was already typing up her revised report. I'm filing this with the Galactic Health Organization and the Xenobiology Council. Title: Humans are medically concerning but functionally immortal through sheer spite. I would prefer stubbornness, Marcus said. Spite implies we're doing it to annoy someone. Aren't you? Vex asked. I mean, maybe a little. Dr. Quillen saved the new medical protocols and leaned back in his hoverchair. In 30 cycles of practicing medicine, I have never encountered a species that so thoroughly violated every principle of survival biology while simultaneously thriving. It's almost beautiful in its absurdity. We're also very good at ignoring medical advice, Marcus added helpfully. You should put that in there too. Already noted. Dr. Quillen pulled up one final screen. Out of curiosity, Mr. Webb, you mentioned needing to call your mother earlier. What are her typical vitality readings? Marcus thought about it. Oh, Mom's tough. Raised 3 kids while working 2 jobs. Survived cancer twice. Runs marathons for fun now. Her readings would probably crash your entire medical system. Vex's scales went pale. There are more humans like you? Billions, Marcus said cheerfully. And most of them are tougher than me. I'm like middle-of-the-pack resilience at best. Wait until you meet construction workers, or teachers, or anyone who works retail during the holidays. Those people are basically indestructible. Commander Krill saved her report and closed her datapad. I'm adding a station-wide memo. All personnel are to expect abnormal medical readings from human crew members and are instructed not to panic unless the human themselves appears concerned. And if the human appears concerned? Vex asked. Then, Commander Krill said gravely, we evacuate the station. Marcus laughed. That's fair. If I'm worried, things have gone very wrong. Dr. Quillen extended a tentacle in what might have been a handshake or possibly a gesture of surrender. Mr. Webb, you are cleared for duty. Try not to die. No promises, Doc. As Marcus headed for the door, finally free to return to his normal routine of hauling cargo and existing in a state of perpetual biological crisis, he heard Dr. Quillen mutter to the others, humanity's greatest superpower isn't strength or intelligence. It's the ability to function at 30% capacity and genuinely believe that qualifies as fine. Is it belief, Commander Krill asked, or denial? With humans, Dr. Quillen said, I'm not sure there's a difference. Marcus stepped out into the corridor, took a sip of his coffee, felt his back crack in 2 new places, and thought about the cargo manifest waiting for him. 14 containers of industrial supplies heading to the outer rim, 12-hour flight. Probably some minor system failures along the way. Definitely not enough sleep. Just another Monday. And somehow, that was fine.